Hello everyone, I am Professor Nayana Sneh, Department of Information Technology from Parvati Pai Genba Music College of Engineering, Vagoli. So in the last session we have seen about the conventional models. In this session we are going to see the specialized process model. So the specialized process model has the many characteristics of one or more conventional model. Then these are applied when there is a narrowly defined engineering approach is chosen. So we have three types of specialized process model. The first is component based development model. Second is the formal method model, and third is the aspect oriented software development model. So we are going to see one by one. The first we will see the component based development model. So the component based development has the many characteristics of the spiral model. It is evolutionary in the nature and includes the iterative approach for the software development. This model composes the application from pre-packaged software component, that is from existing software models. And modeling and construction activities begins with the identification of the candidate components, and these components are designed as either the conventional software models or the object-oriented classes or the packages. The component is nearly independent and replaceable part of the system. A package of the class is the collection of the object that works together and achieve some results. So the component based development includes firstly the available components processes are the available component based products are researched and evaluated for the application. Then the component integration issues are considered. What issues will be intermediate if we combine two or more components, then these issues are considered while integrating them. Then software architecture is designed to accommodate the component. A proper software architecture is created, so the component can be situated in that architecture. Then the components are integrated. That means all different components from different applications are combined. Then the testing is carried out for them, and the important feature of this component based development is that it leads to software reuse. Means whatever applications had developed previously, we are taking that we are taking the components from that applications to create a new component. So we are really using the previous components which are developed using the different applications. So reusable component means the component that the software model those have developed for the specific application can be reused in the development of the other application or the other application project. So this is about the component base. Then we are going to see second, that is the formal method model. In this formal method model, it includes a lot of activities that leads to the formal mathematical specification of the computer software. That means the symbol tables are there, then mathematical methods are there, the mathematical notations are there. So this formal method model use the mathematical notations to develop a software, but we see this method is not really reach the highness of the software development, because it includes a lot of mathematical calculations which the developers are not aware about, and this is much complex method to develop to use for software development. Then we have the aspect oriented software development. So in aspect oriented, we can see if we look previous, so the larger system, in the most of the larger system, the relationship between the program component and their requirements are complex. One single requirement can be implemented by the various components and vice versa. That means one single component may be involved in the various requirements. So to address this particular problem and make the program easier and maintain a good reusability, the aspect-oriented software engineering is used. The important benefit of this approach is that it supports the separation of concerns into the independent element. For example, the user authentication can be represented as an aspect that requires the user login or the password, or the login name and the password can be used in the program wherever the user authentication is required. So this is about the aspect oriented software development for the software development. So in the next slides we are going to see the clean room software engineering. So the clean room software engineering is defined as the engineering approach that builds the correctness in the software being developed. So unlikely the traditional approaches of analysis, then design, then code, then test, and then bug, it offers some different methodology to develop a software. So the main concept behind the clean room software engineering is to remove the dependency on costly processes. That is defect removal process by writing the correct code from the first line and verify its correctness before it goes to the testing phase. So the clean room software engineering incorporates the quality approach of the writing the code from the beginning of the system, or from the writing the right code at the first line. So finally it accumulates into the complete system. We can say that the clean room software engineering approach takes this software development into the next level. So in clean room design, rather than making the product and then removing the defects in it, so clean room software engineering approach focuses on semantic and discipline engineering process that removes all the possible errors and defects in early stage, like specification and design, and then come from the clean room development. The three researchers, Millis, Dyer, and Linger, in the area of software engineering, first propose the concept of clean room software engineering, and then the development process begins with the clean room software engineering. But the another researchers have also explained the failure of the clean room software engineering, that this approach is very much theoretical and mathematical for use in the real world software development. Then it offers no testing, because it is assumed that clean room software engineering approach is disciplined approach. So they are writing the code from the first line very correctly, so it doesn't need so much testing. So this is one myth about the clean room software engineering. And it generally the clean room process generally offers the three boxes, that first is the black box, second is the state box, and third is the clear box. So the clean room software engineering uses the box's structure specification. A box consists of the system or the parts or some aspect of the system. It uses the stepwise refinement process. Then the boxes makes the hierarchy, and each box has its own transparency. So the information in each box is enough to define its refinement without depending on the other box's implementation. It makes developer to separate the system hierarchy from level 0 to the top level. So we are going to see these boxes one by one. First we will see what the black box says, or what the black box contains. So the black box specifies the behavior of the system. It focuses the system specification and the function specification. Then the system or the part of system responds to the specific event by applying set of transitional rules. Then the second is the state box. The state box consists of the state data and the operation similar to the concept of the object. In the state box specification view, the inputs or the states, or we can say some events, and the output, that means some responses, are represented. The state box also represent the hierarchy of the black box event, and the data which is represented in the state box must be retained in all the transition. Then the third is the clear box. So all the transitional functions that are used by the state box are defined properly in the clear box. In short, we can say that the clear box consists of all the procedural design and the previous boxes, that is the state box. So these three boxes is used in clean room software development process model. We have a different strategy for clean room software process model, that is the statistical use testing, which contains a lot of test cases and we can say that use cases that are done on the clean room software engineering. So the next is the SQA, which is the last part of your first unit. So we'll stop here with this session. Again, I will repeat some points which are covered in this session. The first is the component-based development model, which uses the this model uses the previous component from previous application to build a new application. Then second, we have seen the formal method model, means whatever the mathematical notation symbol tables that are used in formal method model to develop a software. But this is a complex type because much of developer are not aware about the mathematical notations or the mathematical methods. Then third is the aspect oriented software development, which adapts the characteristics of the spiral model and the concurrent model. And the last system where the number of complex requirement are specified by one or two models. So to reduce the complexity, we have uses the aspect oriented programming model. Then we have seen the clean room software engineering, which says ki write the right code from the first line. So we do not have much bugs at the testing phase, but it has some drawbacks also. So in that we have seen the process model of the clean room. There are three boxes. First is the black box, state box, and clear box. We have seen the black box as it says the behavior of the system. State box, it contains the state data and operation that is related to the object and its transition. And the clear box, the clear box state the transition function based upon the state box. So this video will contain this part. Hope you all have understand. If you have any queries, you can comment in a comment box. Thank you.